Typically, we go to the hospital to treat an illness that we already have. But what if you walked into the hospital with one illness and left with something much more serious? According to an article written in 2017 by Stacey Haverstick, an RN with critical care nurse, this was the case for about 722,000 individuals in 2011. These infections that we pick up are called HAIs, aka hospital-acquired infections, and the most common form of transmission for these is through contaminated hands. I've spent hours researching how germs affect our lives and how something as simple as hand washing can help us in defense against bacteria. Today I'm going to be talking about hand hygiene. First, I'm going to talk about how much bacteria we pick up and how it can affect us. Second, I'm going to talk about how and why people don't wash their hands. Finally, I'm going to explain how to properly practice hand hygiene to reduce your risk for these infections. First, I'll discuss how many germs we pick up. Second, I'll explain how these bacteria can make us sick. Germs are everywhere. We pick them up when we sneeze, cough, or come in contact with pretty much anything. According to an article written in 2008 by Deborah Mackenzie, a journalist with The New Scientist, titled "The Feminine Touch Carries More Germs," the average person's hands carry at least 3,000 different bacteria and belonging to more than 100 different species. These germs can have a large impact on our lives. Next, I'm going to discuss how much these germs can affect us. According to an article written in 2016 titled "Hand Washing, Clean Hands Save Lives," the germs that often catch onto our hands can lead to different respiratory infections and can cause diarrhea, salmonella, and E. coli. Now that I told you about how easy it is to pick up bacteria, let me tell you about how many people don't wash their hands. First, I'm going to tell you about how many people don't wash their hands. Second, I'm going to tell you about how many people don't wash their hands properly. According to an article written in 2005 by the Minnesota Department of Health, a study done by the American Society of Microbiology showed that only 75% of females and 58% of males wash their hands after using the public restroom. Although hand washing is so simple and effective, many individuals don't do it enough. According to an article written in 2013 by A. Chan, a journalist with the Huffington Post, a recent study in the Journal of Environmental Health found that only 5% of individuals properly wash their hands long enough to kill infection-causing bacteria. So not only are people not washing their hands at all, the people that do, or only 5% of them, do it long enough to kill the bacteria. I mean, why wash your hands if you aren't going to do it properly, right? Now that I told you about how many people don't wash their hands or don't do it properly, let me tell you about the solution to this problem. First, I'm going to tell you about why you need to practice hand hygiene. Second, I'm going to tell you about how to do it properly. According to an article written in 2000 by Ruth Lexier, an RN with Infection Control Today, hand washing is the single most effective way to prevent transmission of antimicrobial resistant organisms, such as the bacteria that cause MRSA in humans. Hand washing is so simple, yet so effective. 30 seconds of your day can save you weeks of illnesses. Proper hand hygiene should be pretty simple, but many people rush through it without doing it properly. According to an article written in 2014 by Purva Mathur, an author with National Institute of Health, titled "Hand Hygiene, Back to the Basics of Infection Control," we need to wash our hands every time we use the restroom, before and after having food, and any time our hands are visibly dirty. If the dirt isn't visible, an alcohol-based solution, such as a hand sanitizer, is usually sufficient. To properly wash your hands, lather some soap on your hands, making sure you get in between your fingers and under your nails, scrub for at least 20 seconds, rinse your hands, and dry them. I mean, it's pretty simple, but as we could tell from recent statistics, many people aren't doing it properly. We have discussed the importance of hand hygiene and how to practice hand hygiene. Now that I've told you about how easy it is to pick up germs, how many people don't wash their hands properly, if at all, and the significance of hand washing and how to do it properly, I hope you can leave here today with an understanding of how something so simple yet so effective could save you time, money, and health if done properly and often enough. Whenever you feel you've come in contact with something that could potentially make you sick, practice hand hygiene to greatly reduce the risk of getting you and those around you ill.